Back now with Marty Biron. Marty, Jacob Markstrom is still the biggest name on the trade bait board, and he's not happy with the way he's being treated. On Friday, Markstrom said, and I quote, "The whole situation and everything, am I happy about that? No, I'm not. And I think it could have been handled a lot different from up top," end quote. After those comments, do the Flames absolutely have to move him between now and Friday's deadline, Marty?
Yeah, 100%, Gino. I think they have to move him. And not only because I don't think it's working for Markstrom in Calgary and that the Flames should really embrace a rebuild. They've already started it. Just might as well go and finish it. But also because Markstrom is the best goalie available. He's second in the NHL right now in goals save above expectations, right behind Connor Hellebuck. And anybody looking for a real number one goaltender would only look at Jacob Markstrom. There's really nobody else on the goalie market that I believe is on the same level as Markstrom. Not only that, but you're not only getting a rental for the rest of the season, 2 more seasons at $6 million. And when you look at Jacob Markstrom and the cost of goaltending around the league and the cap going up, $6 million for a number one goaltender that's top five, usually in goal save above expectation in the National Hockey League, is a bargain. So you're not just getting a goalie for this year, you're getting a goalie for the next 2 years. I think that the Flames have to move Markstrom, and teams that need goaltending. Yes, I'm looking at you, New Jersey Devils. Should have done that a month ago. Do it now. They absolutely have to swing, for the fence and go for a guy like Jacob Markstrom.
Marty, you were traded at the deadline. You know firsthand how tough it is switching teams at this time of the year. What do you think of a team potentially bringing in Markstrom and then expecting him to immediately make an impact with them?
Well, I wasn't on the same level as Jacob Markstrom, number one. So that's one thing. Markstrom can definitely come in and play. And he's got the experience. He's been traded before. So he understands that there's a change of dynamic, change of chemistry, and all of that. So that is always a good thing when you're looking to acquire a goaltender. But when I got traded to the Flyers, the rest of the year, we didn't play for anything. I signed a 2-year deal. The next year, that's when it all started to gel and work together. We went to the conference finals. We made the playoffs after finishing last in the National Hockey League the year before. And I think that's the luxury that you're getting with Jacob Markstrom. I don't like the rental of a goalie situation. I don't think it usually works, but Markstrom could be the exception to the rule. But you're getting the 2 more years. So if it doesn't work this year, you still keep that team together. You have Jacob Markstrom for 2 more years, and you say, okay, let's start fresh from the start of the season. There's some teams right now that are fighting for their playoffs lives that are looking at their crease and saying, it's not good enough. And some teams that are right there, right on the bubble or in a wild card spot that could, upgrade their goaltender and say, hey, if we had had a Jacob Markstrom from day one, we'd be in a much different place. So it's not just for this year, it's for the next 2 years. And I think that, with the fact that Markstrom has already experienced being traded, would work well for that team and Jacob Markstrom.
Flames fans were generally underwhelmed by the return on Chris Tanev. That can't happen with a Markstrom trade. With Markstrom being under contract for this season and 2 more after it at $6 million a year, do you think Calgary's in prime position right now to ask for a king's ransom for him?
Yeah, they are. The contract is great, so you can definitely find value in a trade because of the contract. But again, I think that if there is teams looking for goaltending, who are you going to go get, right? Are you going to go get a Capo Kakinen or a Jake Allen? Are you going to look at potentially, and I say potentially because John Gibson may or may not be in play. There's really nobody at the level of Jacob Markstrom. And I think as soon as Markstrom joins any team, and even if it's a team that's not even in the playoff picture, but a team that wants to make a hockey trade right now, it opens up the doors. It doesn't have to just be a contender, a team that's fighting for a playoff spot or in the playoffs. I know Markstrom has the modified no trade right now, and that is going to limit some things. But if you're Markstrom and you're not happy, open up your eyes to other teams that maybe are going to be good next year and fight for a playoff spot next year, and you can have that type of impact. So, yeah, I think that the value is really high on Markstrom right now for all of those reasons put together.
He is a great value. 4 active goalies are going to carry a higher cap hit than Markstrom next season: Sergei Bobrovsky, Andrei Vasilevsky, Connor Hellebuck, and John Gibson.